All right, people, beautiful people, we are now moving on to complex sentences. Hopefully this thing will work. Um, this is episode 4 of our little journey into sentence structure. Complex sentence. Let's review real fast, okay? A simple sentence is called an independent clause. Independent means it can stand by itself, right? So if you're independent, you stand on your own 2 feet, you don't need any help. So if I said the dog howled, period, makes total sense. That is a simple sentence. That is an independent clause. It stands by itself. A compound sentence is made up of at least 2 independent clauses. Okay, so we saw that in the last video. Compound sentence, 2 independent clauses. So we didn't call them that at the time, but it makes sense. They're 2 simple sentences joined together by a conjunction. One of the fanboys. So that's a compound sentence. So next we have to go to the complex sentence. Complex sentence has 1 independent clause, so one that can stand by itself. The main clause right here is the independent, and it has at least 1 dependent clause. All right. If independent means that you can stand on your own, dependent means you cannot stand on your own. You're dependent. You have to rely on something else to help you. So I can't come up to you and say, if the dog howled, you'd be like, yo, lady, what are you talking about? Okay. What happens next? Right? So that's the what happens next idea. So that's dependent. It can't stand by itself. I see a lot of sentences that y'all turn in that I say are fragments because they're dependent. All right, they don't have they have a subject and a verb, but you put a word in front of it that makes me want to know more information. It doesn't stand by itself. Okay, so those are the definitions of those 3. Now, this one I know you're going to be really excited about because I mentioned it before in class. And I know I called it something else. I think I called it a wabasibus or something, but it's a woobus. The 3 A's, 2 W's, U, B, B, I, S. And essentially, just like fanboys, it's an acronym that gives you the subordinating conjunctions. These are the words that will begin a dependent clause. There are a lot more than these, but these are your main ones that you use right now. After, although, as, when, while, until, before, because, if, and since. So, a woobus. Right? Ooh, a woobus. Say that 10 times fast. All right. So these are the most common subordinating conjunctions used with complex sentences. Again, there are more, and we're not going to talk about them right now, but there are more of these words that will become, help clauses become dependent. Okay? So let's just look at a couple of sentences, and I think that once you understand that it's a independent clause plus 1 or more dependent clauses, it'll make more sense. All right, so complex sentence. And I got it red. When I went to the store, I bought potato chips. Okay, so when I went to the store, I bought potato chips. The main idea of this whole sentence is that I bought potato chips, right? So I bought. So there's my subject and my verb in my sentence. That's my independent clause. I can come up to you and say, hey, Cole, I bought potato chips. And you're like, cool. All right, she bought potato chips. The first part of that sentence, when I went to the store, if I just came up to you and I said, hey, Ava, when I went to the store, you'd be like, yeah, what? What happened when you went to the store? It leaves you hanging. Okay, we don't want cliffhangers in our sentences. So this is the dependent clause. And look at what it starts with. It starts with one of those woobus words there, when. All right, you've got to recognize those. Those have to be, and the easiest thing is that if you were to stop it where you would think it would be a complete sentence, it won't make sense. It can't stand by itself. So I took the exact same sentence and I turned it around. Notice that when I have it at the beginning, that dependent clause at the beginning, what did I put right here at the end of that dependent clause? A comma. Make sure that you put a comma there. Very important. Idea, I is my subject, bought is my verb, this is my independent clause, and then this is my dependent. Okay? I didn't need to tell you that I went to the store to buy potato chips, right? I added that information. It's extra information, but it makes this a complex sentence because I have independent and dependent. Notice what is missing right here. I do not have a comma. Okay, so no comma if the dependent clause is on the at the end.